The study of history is the best medicine for a sick mind. For in history, you have a record of the infinite variety of human experience plainly set out for all to see. And in that record, you can find for yourself and your country both examples and warnings. These were the words of Livy, written over 2,000 years ago. Although the language is archaic, the message still speaks to us today. Over the next 16 weeks, we'll be delving into history to divine lessons from past cultures. We'll begin with ancient music and move chronologically through the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and Baroque periods. As we progress, you'll notice that certain concepts cycle in and out of common practice. Although we use different tools today, we're not all that different from those that came before us. Today, we're in the Porto all'Arco in Volterra, Italy. Though some of you may know Volterra from Stephenie Meyer's Twilight books, we haven't seen any vampires here today. What we have seen are some incredibly old relics from a bygone civilization. These city walls were built by the Etruscans, who inhabited Italy before the Romans over 3,000 years ago. Since their music hasn't held up like their walls, what little we know about early music practice has been reconstructed from sculptures, paintings, funeral urns, and sarcophagi like the ones we find here in Italy. The wealth of information provided to us by artifacts is augmented by extensive descriptions of the theory and practice of music left by the ancient Greeks. Putting together the puzzle pieces, we can make a few generalized statements about music in the ancient world. For the most part, music was monophonic, that is, melody without harmony or counterpoint. Since the tuning of instruments was unreliable, combining instruments was the exception rather than the rule, although a single instrument playing a melodic line did often accompany the voice. Musical rhythm was intimately tied to the rhythm of poetry. Because it followed the words, rhythmic patterns were often non-metric as contrasted with modern music, which normally has a regular meter, the 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4 feel we're used to hearing in music today. Make sure you listen for these characteristics: a monophonic texture, single melodic instrument or voice accompanied by a single instrument, musical rhythm tied to poetry, and a free, non-metered rhythm as you're listening to the musical examples for this unit.